Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Rational Webcast. We are casting for the stalling 21st of December 2015. I'm here as always with Marty. Hello Marty.
Hi Nick. Welcome.
I thought you were in rational mode.
I am. I'm in rational mode. You not give me anything to say. I'm here. I'm rational. Give me news.
You say hello, Marty.
Hi, Marty.
There we go. This week we're talking about Hideo Kojima again, reportedly launching a new studio and working with Sony. We're talking about an open-world Star Wars RPG even, Valve being sued by French people, and Smash Bros. Brawl 4 having a bunch of new characters, including Bayonetta.
I just want to point out a glaring error there. It's not Super Smash Bros. Brawl 4. That's insane. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That was an old one. I mean, now we're on Super Smash Bros. 4. I mean, that does not compute.
I thought Super Smash Bros. Was the abbreviated version of Smash Bros. Brawl.
Get your shit together, Nick. Get your shit together, okay?
This week's a little bit different. I'm actually in the same room as Marty this week, so I can see the division on his face.
Yes.
Normally, I have the protection of about 190 miles. This week, no. My confidence is being destroyed.
Yes, rightly so. Back where it should be. In the ground.
Get back in the corner.
Yeah, so we're talking about things, and he's here, and it's quite odd, actually.
Yeah,
as
you can probably tell. That means we can prank phone call celebrities together.
Yay! It's quite odd as well, because I feel more comfortable talking to my screen than actually looking at Nick at the moment. It feels weird to talk to a human.
Yes. I'm normally in a room completely alone, so I can just go mental.
Exactly. Though now, I don't know about you, but I found that I can only play video games whilst talking to myself. That seems to be the only... That's the natural way of things now.
I have to play with tricks occasionally, so...
Not really. Not really tricks.
Anyway,
Sorry.
Say it. Say it.
I'm a sexy little baby.
That's disturbing. We're talking about Hideo Kojima.
Oh yeah, fuck me.
Yeah, we're gonna... Kojima's setting up his own studio, which is not really that much of a surprise. Although, to be honest, I personally thought he might go down the route of like crowdfunding, like a lot of other people have, rather than just going straight into like new studio mode. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's not exactly a unexpected move. Nobody expected Kojima to just disappear off the map, and if he did, there'd be a hell of a lot of pissed off people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's quite cool that he's gone down this route, because it's, I don't know, you get a lot of these games that go through Kickstarter, something goes wrong and you kind of lose a bit of respect for the developer behind it. You only have to look at Mega Man and Red Ash and the absolute farce that was. Whereas now Kojima is setting up a proper studio. He's going about everything the right way. He's signed up with a big name of Sony. You know, you feel like he might actually stand a chance of being around for a few years.
I think he will be. I mean, he's got a hell of a fan base behind him. Note that the fan base is not behind Konami itself, but instead behind Kojima. Mm-hmm. So that's going to go really well for him. And I'm interested by the fact that it says that he's still interested in working with like film directors such as I can't say the name.
I was going to wonder if you're going to try
Del Toro, who was going to make the Silent Hills with Guillermo Del Toro.
I think I actually just fucked that up myself.
But yeah, he's going to make Silent Hills with the S with him, and that's actually the first Silent Hill game I've actually been interested in. I've never been really fussed by Silent Hill before, but PT made me really sit up, so I'm really hoping they go forward with stuff like that.
I thought you were going to say shit yourself. Because I would suggest that you would shit yourself after playing that game.
Yeah.
I find it terrifying.
I mean, just the fact you could make your own stories for that game as well. it was pretty much like, oh yeah, this guy killed his wife. But that wasn't just it. Like, the hints towards what had happened before that. I mean, the story goes that his wife got laid off from her work, and she had ended up sleeping with the boss and got pregnant, and then he killed her.
That's why the fetus was there talking to you.
Yeah, but the disturbing thing is, how I read it, that whole scene in the bathroom with the fetus in the sink, is that he didn't just... how he killed her.
Oh, okay.
And that is truly disturbing, but it doesn't outright say that's exactly what happened. That's just how you read into it.
Yeah, that's how you can interpret the story. I mean, it was fantastically done.
No, it was well done. Although talking paper bag, still don't get that.
To be fair, I actually missed that on my playthrough. I only saw that when I was watching somebody else's, because that's a fantastic thing about that game. You can play through it and miss a heck of a lot of stuff, and still have a great time with it. And then you watch somebody else's playthrough and you think, shit, when was she there?
But the jump scares weren't even... The jump scares weren't even that much of a big part of it. I mean, only if you dicked around too much or too long. It was basically like a game over kind of thing, as opposed to actually part of the game. The actual main part of the game was building the tension and setting that atmosphere and just seeing glimpses of his dead wife. It was only if you turned around and started walking around back in the wrong direction for like 20 minutes, you'd turn up and go, "Rah!" It'd be like, yeah, start again, you idiot. And I really loved it. I love horror games. I don't like horror games.
What did you just say? Like,
I wanted to... I wanted to clarify...
Is this a joke? Is this...
I wanted to clarify my statement. I don't like horror games, but I do like horror games. I hate the jump scare aspect of these games, but I love when a game creates the atmosphere of a horror.
I think they can almost nowadays be classed as two separate things, because so many games just aim themselves at jump scares.
It's the same with movies. I hate watching movies with like horror that class themselves as horror because they've got jump scares and gore. That's not what I consider a horror film. I would consider a horror film a film that didn't have any jump scares and no gore, but made you feel kind of got you tense and thought, oh my god, and something you're thinking about for ages afterwards because of the content in it. I mean, in that respect, you could call something like Schindler's List a horror film. Maybe.
Oh, shit, that's quite a bomb to drop there.
Well, no, you know what I mean, though.
I've never watched it.
Oh, neither have I, but I know that it deals with the finer points of the Nazis' approach to, exterminating the Jews.
Whoa, please don't use the J word. Don't drop the hard J.
Jews, Christians, Muslims.
What? Did you just chucking that out there again?
Pastafarians, Buddhists, Jedis.
Please. That's...
I'm just naming religions here.
I feel uneasy.
I'm just naming religions. Atheists.
Whoa.
Whoa! There's a cross the line there.
Yeah, definitely. I think a great horror game is one that, it doesn't mean that it can't have a jump scare, but it uses the jump scare effectively.
It doesn't.
You see something as like Five Nights at Freddy's. Now I'm sure that's a good game in its own right, but it doesn't deserve to call itself a horror game or anything like that. It's just a jump scare simulation. That's okay, but it's not a horror game.
Now there is a game that's recently come out. I think it's called Bogeyman or something, and it's very Five Nights at Freddy-esque, or Five Nights at Freddy's 4-esque. You have a little kid on the bed looking around with a torch.
Yes. Yeah, I have seen that.
But it's not really jump scares. It's building the tension, like lights flicker on and off, and if you turn to a right angle, you're able to just about see the room you're in. And the bogeyman doesn't just jump up and go, "Rah!" You can see him coming, and that's what's terrifying.
Yeah.
There's this bit where he opens the window, because you've got like life on your battery, and if you've run out of battery, you're fucked. I mean, and you can see him reach around, open the window slowly, and then he crawls through the window slowly. And that's terrifying!
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it's just that feeling of impotence and just pure oh, this is it, and I know it's coming.
I played a fantastic game the other day which had it. I can't remember what the game was called now. It did have what I suppose would be classed as kind of a jump scare, but the only reason why it was a jump scare, what actually happened was, it was this house that I'd become quite used to wandering around. I put some boxes into one room. I turned around to go down the stairs, and the boxes were at the bottom of the stairs. I jumped at the sight of these boxes because I was so sure. I was so used to the layout of the house, it was so familiar to me, to suddenly see something out of place and the uneasiness that the rest of the house was kind of giving me, that created an environment in which I became scared, which that did frighten me.
Yeah, it's because something's happening that's beyond your control.
And that was very satisfying. The game itself was very well made, actually. I believe it was in beta, so I'll need to have a look at it when it comes out properly.
I just think there's too many jump scare games, and because of, even though I've never played them, the original Silent Hills, like
Silent Hill.
Huh? Oh yeah, the original Silent Hill games, as in like the first and second one, didn't have so much in the way of jump scares. They were more about the atmosphere, the town itself, as opposed to what I've heard about the later ones, where they kind of go down the generic horror, inverted commas, route. And I'd be really interested in seeing something like this from Kojima and someone like Del Toro. I mean, because of that got cancelled now. I have no idea whether they're still working together for stuff like that. But it's good to know that Kojima is interested in still going down that kind of avenue.
And the great thing to me, because he's gone to Sony, because he's got that backing, he's got the pull again to get somebody like Del Toro. If he'd have just gone off by himself and done a Kickstarter, there's no way on earth that Guillermo del Toro would be knocking on his door. But because he's got a proper studio that he's setting up, and he's gone to Sony and he's got their backing very publicly. I mean, they released a video the day that it happened announcing that they were going to be.
Well, Sony's got to be happy, haven't they?
Well, you've got to imagine a heck of a lot of money.
Kojima's a big deal for them, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus, it's kind of cool the thought that he's almost certainly going to be working on a new IP. New IPs are so rare nowadays; they're like unicorns. Well, it's amazing when you finally see one that's worth anything, like people, for example.
Well, that's the thing about new IPs. It's so exciting when you do see them. I mean, I tweeted the other day that I don't care when anybody says I liked Watch Dogs, and it was mainly because of a particular soundtrack in it. But I did like that game, and it was nice to see that they were trying new IPs.
Yep.
But the thing with Kojima is the fact that all the IPs he did work on actually still belong to Konami.
Yep.
So, he has no other option than to work on a new one. But I don't think he'll be too bothered by that because, he's a pretty innovative
wanted
guy.
To do that for a while.
Yeah. And it's been, Konami have been pushing him through the ringer of creating same after same, and he's been trying to break out, and, that might be why they let him go a little bit.
Now, have you heard about the latest job listings from Konami?
No, I have not.
They have just put up some job listings for a new Metal Gear Solid game.
That's going to go poorly. That's going to go so poorly.
Yeah, you can't imagine they've got much talent left.
No.
Especially because Hideo Kojima has specifically and publicly stated that he's looking for people that worked on Metal Gear Solid to join his team. So that's pretty interesting. They've now got these two at loggerheads, and it's basically, is Kojima Konami? Is he what they used to be?
It's kind of acquaintable to the situation, the BBC and Jeremy Clarkson, really.
Yes. Yeah.
Because for anybody that doesn't know, I like foreign people, but then again, Top Gear was pretty international.
Bloody foreigners.
Thanks for that. I mainly like American viewers, maybe. The BBC got pissed off with Jeremy Clarkson's antics.
Because he punched a guy.
His producer, and they fired his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Then Amazon went and got him and said, "Hi, do you want to come and work for us and make a new car show the same as Top Gear? Just you can do whatever the hell you want." He was like, "Yes, can I bring my friends, i.e. Richard Hammond, James Fahey?" And they were like, "Yes." And Richard Hammond, James Fahey said, "Yeah, let's go." And now that's how I see Hideo Kojima. He's just saying, okay, I'm going to do this now. They want to come with me, and everybody's going to be like, yeah. And Konami are going to be left in the lurch. But I don't think they really care because, as long as they've got their pachinko machines.
Yeah, I mean, they'll just get a new team and get them to work on it. It's
and
great
it's
bother
going
to
to
them.
be shit.
Probably be like Metal Gear Solid Acid again.
It's going to be like hide in the box. That is it. Press X to hide in box.
But it'd be interesting to see whether they try and use the same engine from the Metal Gear Solid 5.
I wasn't. Admittedly, I've never actually played a Metal Gear game.
Wow.
Yes. Because I've never been over keen on the, Japanese aspect of it. Not in a race way. Just
It was very racist.
I don't mean it like
I saw him say it, and he had this racist look in his eye.
I did not mean that.
Honestly.
No, I mean like the over the topness. That's why I prefer action RPGs to like JRPGs. They feel more grounded. That's why I like the Daniel Craig Bond films to the older Bond films.
A dirty thing to say.
I didn't kind of like the look of Metal Gear Solid 5, though. Basically, I've never been really interested in Metal Gear games, but I can't imagine they'd be... I know there is a massive following, and they are good games. I've heard that they are stupidly good games. But I just can't imagine that they'd be still as good without Kojima.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they get on. I think clearly don't want them to get on very well. But they might pull it out of the bag. They might create something special, and everybody will suddenly be like, "Oh, Konami, we forgive you," and stuff. I mean, I won't. I can guarantee that much. Because,
nothing
Konami,
can be as fun as Metal Gear Revengeance, though.
That was really good.
I don't really class it as a Metal Gear game.
I don't think anybody does.
But it's fun as fuck.
Yeah, really well done. It's stupidly fun. Just the whole sword mechanic.
Slicey dicey.
So yeah, shall we have a look at something else?
Yeah, that picture you got up of Kojima, yes. Kojima and Del Toro is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Del Toro's just like, yeah, and Kojima's just there looking like a complete badass, just adjusting his glasses.
It looks like the Hulk meets Spock.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway, so let's go on to the next thing.
Da 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 da. I'm on his waveform.
Like really loud as well.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun.
Stereo.
So let's talk about Star Trek.
Star Wars Trek. The Trek of Star Warsians.
Yeah.
Star Trek gating. Blake 7?
So there's been a Star Wars game that's just come out.
There's always a Star Wars game.
And I think most people will agree with me when I say that it was pretty poor. I mean, people had really high hopes for it, and they were pretty much dashed by a really pretty engine, but subpar game design and content.
That's practically the byline for gaming in the industry these days, isn't it?
It does seem to be the case for a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah, looks pretty, plays shit.
So they made that game. It wasn't very good, but there has been talk of new games, which is always good. Well, I say talk. They haven't actually talked. What has happened is that they put up a job posting. So it's quite a way off. But the job posting is for Visceral Games, EA and Visceral, and then basically stating that they want somebody to make a new open world Star Wars RPG.
Is that not just Knights of the Old Republic again?
Maybe.
Give it to BioWare.
No. Maybe.
Don't give it to EA. Well, then again, BioWare part of the EA, so never mind.
Yeah.
Damn it, EA! Stop buying all these people and running them into the ground.
Yeah, I mean, Visceral. They made Dead Space, am I right in saying?
Visceral. Yes, they did, yeah.
Which is good, because I assume that they were just going to close down Visceral. But if they're giving them a big project like this, then maybe they're not. Who
Yeah,
knows?
but you can pretty much guarantee that they've scrapped the whole team and it's just the name that exists still.
Maybe. Probably.
That's
That
why they're
tends to
just
happen.
doing job postings.
Fair point. Yes.
Indeed it is.
Yeah. But it seems like an interest. I don't know. I'm gutted that EA got it. I'm gutted that EA are the ones making Star Wars games.
Yeah.
Because they don't seem to want to put... I mean, I don't know. Did they put a massive amount of effort into Battlefront?
They're trying to
Looks
make
like
out
they
that they're trying to make out that they did, but when I really look at it, all I can really see is battle. What's it called? Battlefield.
Battlefield. Okay, yeah.
With a Star Wars skin. It basically looks like somebody modded a Battlefield game. You know, maybe turning the X-wings and TIE fighters into, helicopters or
Well,
something.
it's the same engine, isn't it?
Yeah, my point.
Yeah. But at least they have a decent story mode.
Seriously?
They have a story mode.
Seriously?
They do. I mean, that's facts.
Yeah, Battlefront has a story mode, kind, I guess.
Well, no, Battlefront doesn't. As I say, Battlefield does.
Oh yeah,
Battlefront
Battlefield does, but Battlefront, they say it's a single-player mode, but it's not.
It's just a wave mode.
Yeah.
You know that thing that they have is like a really crappy add-on to most games? Yeah, that's the whole single-player game here.
And you even have to be online for that as well, so... Like if you haven't got an internet connection! And yes, you can still not have an internet connection. Like, if you're away somewhere and you took your laptop
Yep.
in a hotel and you don't want to pay for their Wi-Fi.
This sounds like something that you would do.
Yeah, something I have done.
I feel like this is you talking from my experience.
Fuck you, I can't get on! I want to play this game! You can't, there's no internet connection. I'm not paying the fucking... Anyway.
To your phone.
Then I'll use up my mobile internet and I'll still get charged for it.
You use up a massive amount of mobile internet, I found out today.
Yeah, I used up like 4 gigabytes in about 10 days.
That's ridiculous. What on?
I don't know, YouTube.
You're just watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, why not? I was uploading and I was laid in bed and I wanted to watch something. And I thought, oh, well, I'm getting my new contract soon. They're going to give me 10 gigs of free internet per month, so...
10 gig?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it comes with the internet.
Fair enough.
But it's not getting set up until January, it turns out. I got a text from them after I'd already used up my shit. So, never mind.
Fair enough.
I'm without mobile internet now.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah. What do you think about a Star Wars RPG that is not Knights of the Old Republic, the Old Republic, or anything like that?
I am upset that
I know.
it is EA. And I'm upset that it's EA purely because because you know that on day one they're going to announce a game that looks pretty sweet, and then they're going to announce a load of shit DLC for it, and then it's going to get a little bit closer to, and you'll suddenly notice a couple of bits. Well, that doesn't quite add up. Oh, that looks really pretty, but that doesn't quite make any sense.
By that point, they have the pre-orders.
Exactly, and then the game will come out. You know, it'll be shite, and you just be disappointed again, and then
I didn't necessarily mean an EA version of it, like in general.
Oh, I'm happy with the Star Wars game. I'm happy with an RPG because the whole thing with a Star Wars game isn't having stormtroopers running around. That's not fun. The actual thing that's fun about Star Wars is the universe, is the story.
Lightsabers.
Is the yeah. I could play a Star Wars game without lightsabers. I mean, Bounty
No, you
Hunters,
couldn't.
okay.
No, maybe, yeah, but
Especially the
I enjoy lightsabers.
whatchamacallit, the space games as well. The Rogue Squadron games, they were fantastic.
Fair dues, yeah.
So it's the story, it's the ethos, it's the
Environment.
everything other than. Yeah, I don't want to be one of 4 million shit stormtroopers wandering through shooting at fuck all.
Welcome to Battlefront. You are now a stormtrooper. Die a million times.
Yeah, I mean, that's not fun.
Thing
that's
is,
not interesting.
Pandemic did that back in the early 2000s, and they actually did it well.
Yeah.
So it can work. It's just that EA apparently didn't care enough. So, big middle finger to the gaming community there.
Yeah, classic EA.
Fuck you!
Exactement.
Speaking of French people,
Exactement.
stop speaking the language at me.
Make me woman. So, we've got Valve. Valve are being sued by a French consumer association. You know why? Because Valve are not all powerful. Valve are not all superb. Valve do actually have quite a few faults. And their system is, it's definitely faulty in some way, shape, or form. So, Nick, you love Valve. What are your thoughts?
Everybody makes mistakes.
Do they have to keep on making them after the system has been up for, I don't know, 10 years now?
Everybody makes ongoing mistakes. I don't. Maybe it should have been fixed, but maybe it's something that just kind of slipped through.
They've got to be aware of
They're
these
juggling
issues.
so many balls, though. No jokes about balls, please.
I don't have to make jokes about balls. The word balls is funny. That is where the comedy comes from.
Big hairy balls.
Big floppy balls just rolling around your face. That is an amusing thought and concept. That's fine.
You just like thinking about big hairy balls
Not just the balls.
on your face.
So if we look at it carefully, which I'm not going to,
What, big hairy balls?
exactly, if we really get into them. So you've got Valve. I don't know. It's one thing that's always annoyed me is that you're able to sell cards, the trading cards in game. You're able to make money from that. If you make too much money, then you have to pay taxes on that.
Yes.
Certainly, if you live in America. But
Well, if you ever live in Britain as well, you know,
Well, yeah.
if you earn too much money, you have to pay taxes. You just have to do it.
but that money isn't yours. That money is within Steam's workshop. You can't get that money. So you're paying tax on something that's, for all intents and purposes, virtual. And
You can say the same thing about PayPal, though. Like,
well, no, because you can get the money.
not really, like-
Well, yeah.
No,
you
transfer
can
to
withdraw
bank,
that
but,
money
yeah,
to transfer it
then
to your
it's
bank,
pain in
and
the
then you
arse.
have the money.
pain in the ass to set up, but at least it
Whereas-
was when I did it.
But whereas Valve, you literally are unable to do that. No way, shape, or form you're able to do that.
I see your point, but I'm hesitant to actually, admit so.
I see. Because you're too in love with Valve.
Yeah.
We need to wean you off Valve.
And half
Maybe
the
get you
gaming
onto
community.
GOG.
We got. I appreciate GOG. I like Valve more. You know why I use GMG?
Go on then.
Because they have Steam codes. This game looks awesome. It's a good price. Oh, it doesn't have a Steam code. Fuck it. I don't want to buy it from you.
I do kind of go that way with the Humble Bundle sometimes.
Yeah.
Quite often, actually.
It's pretty ridiculous, isn't it?
To the extent that I was really upset when I bought the Neo Geo bundle and it turned out that none of it was on Steam. At which point I then I had this weird moment where I just thought, oh, I've just wasted my money. Because I'm never going to play these games now. If they were in my Steam library, there was at least a chance of it.
Allow you to withdraw the money and allow you to sell games to other users. Like that you own, like direct transfer
Yep.
of digital properties. I know that's not very easy to implement, but
I mean, it brings with it its own risks. If you could suddenly withdraw your money and transfer games like that, if somebody gets into your account, it's a free-for-all.
but-
Everything's gone.
that would just be the same as your house.
Well, yes. Yes. That's why we try to not let people in the house.
Exactly, and that's
Whereas
why you
Steam
try
don't
not to let
actually-
people in. But you're saying, yeah, people can hack into your Steam account. Yeah, people can break into your house,
Not mine.
steal all your shit. No, you have attack dogs and
I have an attack rabbit.
drones and like laser turrets and
That's all lies. Every element of that is a lie. I have a rabbit. My rabbit will defend my honour and his house.
rabbit in a cage.
Exactly.
You have raiders and laser pistols and
Mm.
a Mark V turret. I've been playing too much Fallout.
Yeah, I mean, I have none of these things. So you've got I don't know what I'm talking about.
We're trying to talk seriously. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Well, it is Christmas after all.
Valve claims
Not really.
ownership on the rights of any user-created content uploaded on Steam.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Fuck that shit. Does that mean we're owned by Valve?
What? Are we uploading things onto Steam?
Not uploading, but linking our videos to.
No, it's only if we uploaded them to Steam.
I uploaded a couple of pictures from like Magica and stuff.
Oh, they specifically belong to.
No.
But then also, if you'd spent 5 years on a mod and you uploaded that to Steam, Steam owns that mod.
But they tried to do the paid mods thing, so they're
Yeah.
trying to meet people halfway. So if
What's that, halfway?
so basically, it like
You're not barely.
Like yeah, if you that means if you upload something to Greenlight, then Valve owns that, but you can gain revenue from it, which is just the same as having a publisher. So if they try and pay for it, then that's kind of
Yeah,
meeting you halfway.
The issue with the whole paid mods thing, though, is that they didn't police it in the same way that they don't police Greenlight. So a load
No, I
of
think
shite
this
was
has
going
been-
up there and stuff that people didn't own.
This has been the longest. This comes back to probably the biggest issue in Valve and Steam's history is the fact that things are not checked as well as they should be. I mean, you can have a lot of shit on there, and the point is, get rid of it. Have moderators going through and saying, "Yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean,
proper-
that would be the absolute ideal, but they don't want to pay for that.
got enough money."
Well, you'd have thought so, wouldn't you? I mean, they make millions every day, I'd assume.
Yeah,
So why couldn't they
they
pay
make enough on me.
Why couldn't they pay for 200 people to go through it daily? And they happily and easily could. But they just won't, because they won't make as much money that way.
How though?
What do you
At
mean
this
how?
point, the shovelware on Valve is actually driving people away a little bit. I mean, you don't want to trawl through all the shit just to get to like one gem during the sales or something.
But that's the point, is that they do have moderators when it comes to putting things on sale and making sure that only the best stuff gets to the front
Well,
page.
maybe, yeah, but
So they do have moderators.
sometimes you
They
just
do
wanna-
have people to do these things.
Sometimes you just want to delve a little deeper.
Although saying that, maybe they don't. Maybe they have logarithms for that sort of thing.
Probably logarithms. You don't have to pay logarithms.
Maybe so.
Well, not where I come from anyway. Here at G25B, have 50 quid.
Yeah, I suppose maybe. I don't know. I don't know whether they do have logarithms, whether they pay people to do it.
Not as many as they should at least.
They certainly don't pay people to do some of the stuff that we want them to do, and that's what I care about. The stuff
mean-
I talk about.
I think it'd be harder to do now, like harder to start because there's such a backlog, as opposed to if they had started it in the first instance.
Well, I mean, you'd almost argue that they just, what's done is done. Just start from now.
Maybe,
At least then they get something done. Be a heck of a lot better than it is. I
at
mean,
the very least,
Greenlight
don't
is
allow
just
half-complete games on there. That, well, not even half-complete. I mean, there's the early access, and then there's just not trying.
yeah. And there's a lot of games that go up to early access just because that's the easier option.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
that's
less
what-
likely to get criticised if they put it on early access. No, they have no intention of finishing the game.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few people that did this. There was quite a scandal like a year or so ago, wasn't there? Where, I can't remember the name of the game for the life of me. They were charging like $20, and it was basically like a character model and a sprite or something, and basically there was nothing to it. And they were saying, "Oh, we'll do this, that, and the other. Oh, we'll do all of this," and they never did. And the game was pulled from Steam, but it's bad that it has to get to that point for it to be pulled.
But there have been so many stories, similar things. I mean, there was the guy that put up a game that specifically stated that there were 20 levels in the game, and then it turned out that there was one level, and the whole point of it was meant to be really difficult to get through to the next levels.
And he
But
lied.
the fact was that people went through the game's code and there was only one level,
Yeah.
and it was impossible to get through to the next level.
At least I want to be the guy who actually has the levels. You'll never get to them, but at least they have the levels.
And then there was, in fact, there's quite a furore going on about Killing Floor 2.
Furore, eh? That's an interesting word.
Because they have finally got, they finally added enough content that it's up to the point that Killing Floor 1 was when it was released.
Yeah.
That's taken 12 months, 2 years, whatever. But they are adding in DLC now, which, I mean, they're all cosmetic, but they are paid for. So, you know, you've got the fact that it's not kind of buffers and everything else, which is a positive. But the fact is that they're still adding DLC for a game that is still in early access. It's a game that they're still stating isn't finished, but they're adding in cosmetic additions to it. You know what? That doesn't quite add up. It doesn't quite.
Surely save them until the end. Like if you did make extra stuff like that, you would save them until the game was properly released, at least.
You'd have thought so, wouldn't you?
I'd have thought so, but you know these things are, well, dickish. You know. Everybody's just out to look after themselves and get money, and at the end of the day, for all we praise them for, Valve is really no different. They are a company. They want to make money.
And they've not made any games in years.
Yeah, sure.
Douchebags. They're saving everything for virtual reality, aren't they?
The thing is, what's better? Making games that are crap, or just not making games?
If you put out a game, there's a chance it might be good.
But what if you know it's not going to be? Like, you know, if basically comparing EA and Valve.
Yeah, I mean,
at least Valve are still nice to their like fan base.
Yeah, that's true. For now.
For now.
FNAF. Anyway, let's talk about Super Smash Brothers.
Is Freddy going to be in it?
Definitely not. I can
that would be good.
That's a rational mark guarantee.
Oh, please put Freddy Fazbear in Smash Brothers now.
That would be awful. Because I genuinely don't know what he'd do. Just wander around. Yeah. So
that's
Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers had one of those Nintendo Direct things, and it's the final one. It's the last Nintendo Direct for Smash Brothers. So in other words, there's no more stuff coming out for it. But the stuff they did show was kind of interesting. Now we'll get the first one out of the way, the boring one, which is Corrin.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, exactly. She's from the new Fire Emblem game. It's basically to promote the new Fire Emblem game. And nobody cares about it. There are already too many Fire Emblem characters in it anyway. So, genuinely, Nintendo should just kind of cool down on that. And read all of the thousands upon thousands of comments which talk about the fact that nobody wants any more Fire Emblem characters in the game. Then they were showing a little bit about Cloud, which was cool.
I know who that is.
There we go. Cloud's Strife. They showed a bit of him and some of his moveset and the limit break.
Oversized sword.
Sword. Just get it.
How does he carry that thing around? Jesus Christ.
Carries his sword. Yeah. So he got a he's got a sword. And they showed off his limit break, which was kind of cool. A little bit like what's his name? The guy from the boxing game. Can't think of his name.
Mike Tyson.
No.
I don't know.
And they showed off some of his level as well, the Midgar level. And it's really cool, and it's now available for download. And it costs £6 in the UK for both the Wii U and 3DS versions, which for me is expensive, and I'm not going to pay it. But yeah, some people might.
Depends if you really, really like Cloud.
Yeah, which I don't. Yeah.
Well, yeah, anybody that's played Final Fantasy 7, so that's most people.
Yeah. And then the last piece of information was, Nick, would you like to take away?
Well, I can hear the losses of innocence from here. They're putting, well, as everybody knows, Bayonetta 2 was released on the Wii U.
Only.
Proprietary. So, Bayonetta's going into Smash Brothers. That's going to be amazing. You've got like Kirby, like, oh, love-de-dum-de-dum-de-doo. And then you've got Bayonetta with erotic asphyxiation someone to death or something. Like, I don't know what she does. Yeah, I've never played Bayonetta, but I hear it's surprisingly
it's one of those
kinky.
Things that
all her clothes, like, actually, she doesn't wear clothes, does she? She wears hair.
Yeah, it's all
which baffles me because in the second one she's got short hair.
Yep.
So where the hell is all that hair coming from? My armpits?
No, it's still the same hair. It's just she's just chosen for it to be shorter on her head for a bit.
Yeah, but how does it connect to the rest of her body?
I don't know. Bayonetta. So you've got the
Armpits,
interesting
I'm going
thing with
with
Bayonetta
armpits.
is that so many people that don't understand the game tend to talk about it as being this, this sexy blah blah blah, and how it's ridiculous and perverted and whatever else. But if you actually
No, I wouldn't go so far as to say perverted. I'd just say
people
it's
genuinely
unusual to have
do.
something like that in Smash Brothers.
But the interesting thing about it is that it's one of those odd scenarios in which Bayonetta is so over-sexualized. She's so... It's so over the top with the sexuality that it then becomes comedic and in no way sexy. I would struggle to find anybody that genuinely finds the character, a sexy character.
Sure out there. It is the internet.
True. But genuinely, it's an interesting choice. It's not unexpected, but I don't feel that it suits Super Smash Brothers in any way, shape, or form, because it's not about the anime characters. It's not about Cloud Strife. It's about stupid cartoon characters punching the shit out of each other.
To be fair, Bayonetta's got it down there. I have seen some of the fight scenes from Bayonetta, like the bit where she's falling on a clock face and fighting tons of guys in midair or something.
Yeah, kind of jumping between the pieces of.
The outrageous level of crazy. I kind of see that kind of fits into Smash Brothers. Yeah. I still think it's an odd choice though, because apart from all the like sexual innuendo kind of stuff rolling around because of this, she is, unlike things like Kirby and everything, a violent character. Comes from a violent game,
Yeah, I mean, you could say that about Solid Snake or something like that as well, to be fair.
Well, yeah, there was actually confusion and a bit of backlash when Solid Snake was added to Smash. So it's just kind of that over again.
Yeah.
And Smash it's basically becoming less of a look, let's get all our cutesy characters together. It's just like, right, let's just get all of the characters together. Eventually, you'll probably get Sonic or something in there.
What?
I know, I'm aware that's Sega, but
What, in Smash?
Well, I can see Smash as a concept evolving to the point where it's not limited to one company or one.
Oh, no, I'm asking because Sonic is in it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go then. That
He was
kind
in
of proves.
Brawl.
Huh?
He was in Brawl, the last game.
I don't know. I've never played it. I'm not interested in it. But that's exactly my point, though. The fact it's going to just be a battle royale between all characters from all games.
This
Put
game
Gordon Freeman in it. That'd be fucking amazing.
This game, more than any other, has kind of had that feel to it. And the fact that you've got Kirby, Mario, Sonic, Mega Man, and all of these Cloud and Bayonetta and Solid Snake, and
so it's much more down the line of my train of thinking.
Yeah, it's kind of more going towards PlayStation All Stars than Super Smash Brothers.
And I could be down with a game like that. If they stop calling it Smash Brothers, because
that's the game.
I know, but that's implying the Mario Brothers.
No, not.
It kind of is.
It's its own thing now.
It's its own thing, so they need to give it a new name. Like, just call it Smash Ball or something.
So, the other interesting things about it they've got Chocobo hats, which I don't really care about. However, they have also got Geno, which is a really interesting addition. Because they're obviously now talking to Square, and they've got Square on board with Cloud, they've added in Geno, who is only ever seen in one game, in Super Mario RPG for the SNES, which is kind of one of those obscure games that not many people have played. I mean, certainly more than it was 10 years ago. It's become a bit more famous, but they have actually not bothered to put that in, and they're paying homage to something that everybody thought was kind of a dead element of Nintendo's past, and they just haven't ever acknowledged.
I just thought something better than Gordon Freeman.
What have you thought?
You said about Square.
Square.
Put Rico in it.
Who's that?
Rico Rodriguez.
Who's that?
Seriously?
Who's that?
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Just cause.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Can you imagine that hook-shotting in that? I would then play Smash.
I can see that kind of being a cool concept.
Yeah!
But it's that. You know,
Be buying a Commando, but better.
Link's already got his.
Oh, fuck Link.
His hook shot.
I don't care. I watched a game theory that said it basically destroys his entire body if he used it. Then again, you could say the same thing about Rico. Who can defy gravity by hook-shotting into the ground. I'm so happy they left that in Just Cause 3. Oh, so glad.
That was a weird one.
It's awesome. It's good. Bloody Just Cause, God's sake.
I would if I was buying it. I'm not going to buy it anytime soon, so I'm not going to play it.
Okay, well, buy Just Cause 2 then.
I've got Just Cause 2.
Play it then.
No!
Why?
I don't know, I actually kind of want to play it. I just
You can
haven't.
play it. You're just trying to argue with me now. Damn your stubbornness.
Yeah, damn me indeed.
Damn you all to hell.
Why are you damning me to hell? That seems like a bit much.
We were saying damn, and then I thought of Planet of the Apes.
I damn you to tech.
That's not the line.
I don't care.
You blow it up! God damn you all to hell!
Please don't damn our listeners to hell, Nick. That seems like a bit of a negative way to end the episode.
Da 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 da.
So, as I've just hinted, this is the end of the episode now.
This is the end.
The end is nigh.
Yeah. This is weird. It's signing off when you're right there.
Yeah. Just very odd.
Last week, you said bye on the webcast and then closed Skype. He was actually gone.
Yeah.
What do I do now? He's right here in front of me. Do I stuff him back in the drawer or something?
Well, last week I actually carried on talking for a bit. I'm just kind of wondering why you're not saying anything to me.
My mum did that when I was talking to her on the phone the other day.
And then I realised that I was still looking at Audacity and not Skype. So yeah.
Oh, on that note,
Yep.
go play some good games, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, go away. Have
Play
fun.
Just Cause.
Yeah, maybe do that.
Yeah.
Even if it's Just Cause 2.
Even if it's... No, seriously. Because Just Cause 2 is just as good as Just Cause 3.
That bomb.
I'm not sure I want to say that. Just Cause 3 is a little bit better because it's got links to it and everything, but it's still a damn good game.
Just don't play Just Cause 1 because that's shit.
It's not shit.
It's really bad.
It's actually not.
It's terrible.
But play Just Cause 2 instead.
Just Cause 1 is terrible.
You surf a president at the end.
I did not play that one because it was terrible. It was the worst game I've ever played. I would rather die.
Well, that's extreme.
I extremely hate that game.
I would preferably ride a missile while disarming it. After I've disarmed it, fall off, plunge as all my friends tell me how much they love me, and then land in the president's chair of the Oval Office.
Sounds really bad.
Have you played Saints Row 4?
Yeah, it's a good game.
There we go, that's how Saints Row 4 opens. Anyway, check out all our other videos.
Yeah, you know, do that like, comment, subscribe thing.
Talk to us on anything, really.
Yeah, Steam.
Not Steam.
Oh, fine then, you should anything.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing we're not. Talk to us on Twitter and Facebook, and
if you want to contact me on Steam, you can.
you can contact him. But
You can contact Nick as well. I'll give you his ID.
no, it's off.
Just don't ask him for his card number. He gets really angry.
What's your password, Dave?
Unless you're from Valve, and then ask him for his card.
Hi, this is Gabe Newell.
Hi, I'm Gaben. Give me a card, and I'll give you other games.
I've got all the games that I want.
So yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Have a good time.
Bye bye.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.